Hey guys, welcome to Lake Stevens Auto Detailing. Today we've got a beautiful sunny day and we've got a 2015 Ford Fiesta, and we're going to be doing it inside and out on it. It's looking a little bit grimy, not too bad, but we'll get this thing squared away here. Show you the inside. The door jambs. A little crusty in there. Got some pet hair and things. Yeah, that's gross. I think that's like dead skin and greasy transfer and stuff like that. Some lovely pet hair and stuff like that. Trunk's not too bad. I mean, the jam needs to be blasted out, but trunk's not too bad. So when I go on details, I've been taking my new Ford truck. It has tons of room in there, and I have no issues fitting everything in there. So I like using it. It's really easy to pack all my stuff in there, and then I got kind of a little cargo net that I stretch out with it's got 4 carabiner clips, and that clips right onto the tie downs on the truck, and I have no problems there. I usually store the chemicals and towels, things that I don't want blowing away in the wind or getting too hot or anything like that. I stick those in the truck and then take them out as needed, and then stuff that doesn't matter as much I'll put in the back of the bed, and it's real easy to load with this 8-foot bed. There's room for days in this thing, so I can bring my big DeWalt vacuum and air compressor and everything and have tons of room left over, so that's nice. One of these days I like to upgrade my air compressor from that little Bostitch pancake air compressor, because it doesn't quite have enough CFM output for the Tornador. It can't really keep up that well. I mean, it's a lot better than nothing, and it's easy to move around. It's pretty light. It's maybe 30 something pounds, so it's not too bad, but it's constantly running when I'm using the Tornador after like 20 seconds. So I'd like to upgrade maybe to the rigid 4.5 gallon air compressor that puts out 5 CFM at 40 PSI and as well as 90, so it can keep up with the Tornador. And it is heavier. I think it's about 65 pounds, and it's about $350 plus tax, so that's something I'll have to save up for and get one of these days. If you guys have other air compressors that you like for portable mobile detailing, let me know in the comments below what you guys like using. Only really interested in portable air compressors. Thanks. Now we're going to be doing a preliminary blowdown, get any loose debris, hairs blown out, just to make the first round of vacuuming easier. So we want to get any embedded dirt and stuff that are stuck in the cracks of the seat fibers, the very back of the little kind of trunk area behind the rear seat backrest area. Get that blown out, and then you can see all the crap in the carpet that needs to get blown out. A lot of it's kind of ground in around where floor mats would be, so we're gonna need to knock in all that stuff loose. And I'm also getting the door panels, the little cup holder areas and all that stuff, because they hide a lot of loose hair and debris and stuff that you might not see right away, so it's easier to get that blown out first thing, and then we'll go through and do our vacuum. But I'm just trying to get everything loosened up and agitated, and then we'll do the preliminary vacuum here. Thankfully the trunk wasn't real bad at all. There wasn't too much in there. It looked like most of the stuff they kind of kept in the rear passenger area and stuff, so they weren't carrying around too much stuff in the trunk. But there was some hairs and some dirt and debris and stuff, as you can see, but nothing too bad. So the majority of our work ahead of ourselves is going to be in the main kind of car cabin area, the front and the back area. So you can see the carpet has accrued quite a bit of stuff over the last 9 years, and this thing has never gotten a deep clean, so it's up to us to get all that junk out. The hairs, the dog hairs, were kind of long and stringy, which were a little bit difficult to get out, but not nearly as bad as like the smaller breed dogs, like Chihuahuas and Wiener Schnitzels and stuff like that. Those have real short hair, and they're a pain to get out because they're not long, and they kind of embed themselves and intertwine into the carpet fibers and seat fabric, and it's just a pain in the butt to get out. So I definitely prefer longer dog hair. It's a lot easier to get out. Doesn't take as much time. Of course, it depends how much volume of dog hair there is. This one wasn't terrible, but there was definitely some accrual of all that stuff, and then just all the added stuff that was stuck onto the carpet. We have a little bit of work ahead of ourselves. The first round of vacuuming, it looks really good actually, but if you're not looking through the camera lens, you can see there's quite a bit of stuff left over, so we're gonna have to hit it up probably with the Tornador again, drill brush, and vacuum until we get this thing perfectly clean. Seats have got plenty of junk on there. Some of that's caused from the Tornador to blowing the crud around, but we're going to get all the surfaces, get first vacuums passed through there, and get everything as cleaned out as we can, and then go from there depending on how much more is left, if we need to use the drill brush or Tornador again to get the last bits of junk taken out of the seats and the carpet fibers. A lot of the stuff that doesn't go through on the first pass, it's kind of embedded in there pretty good, so either we need to hit it up with the drill brush or hit it with the Tornador, depending on access. The drill brush works really good. I've been using the medium bristle cone brush because that works really great on this carpet fibers. It doesn't cause any damage or anything, and it helps loosen and agitate the carpet. Some of the areas you can only reach with compressed air, so we need to use the Tornador. It just kind of depends on what circumstance and what you've got going on. So here I'm trying to blow the seats out and all those little hard to reach areas again with the Tornador now that we've done the first pass, and as you can tell there's plenty of crud that's still blowing around, so we've got our work cut out for ourselves. We're going to get all this loose junk blown up, agitated in the whole area of the vehicle, and then we're going to go through and drill brush and vacuum, and hopefully that'll be the end of our vacuuming until we do our final little touch-ups and things. As you can see, there's a fair amount of stuff that got blown out with the Tornador. Those little nooks and crannies and tight crevices, we're still holding quite a bit of little hairs and debris and stuff, so we got to get all that vacuumed up, get this thing looking nice and clean, so we can move on to the next step of the process here. I really like my DeWalt shop vac. It works great, and it's got a 20-foot hose, so I can reach pretty much anywhere in the vehicle with no problems at all. So we're just going to continue through the rest of the vehicle with our second round of vacuuming, getting all the surfaces cleaned off as best we can using the vacuum, and if there's any loose debris or any debris that's still stuck in the seats or carpet fiber, then we will use the drill brush and agitate the remainder of that junk and get everything all cleaned up here. But vacuum's doing a great job for most of the stuff. Tornador did a good job blowing all that junk loose. So if there's any other areas that we need to get, we'll just use the drill brush and that should finish things off. The rear carpet area still had some remainder of stuff that was stuck to the carpet, and there was dog hair and stuff that was not coming up in its entirety. So we're just going through, hitting it with the drill brush, and then vacuuming right behind it. It's one of the nice things about having a cordless tool is you can just use that at the same time as you're vacuuming, and you don't have to worry about blowing circuits or anything if you're just on like a 15 amp breaker, which is most of the houses that I'm visiting. I'm using their electricity and water is needed. So I do have to be mindful of how much electricity I'm using. Obviously I can't use the vacuum and the air compressor at the same time, or use my steamer and the vacuum or air compressor at the same time, because that'll just pop the breaker. So this trunk area had some areas that had some loose debris or debris that needed to be loosened up, and so we just hit it with the drill brush and then went through on a final vacuum and vacuumed up everything as best as we could. So trying to be as thorough as I can and get the customer a nice clean vehicle when I turn it over to them. Yeah, this driver's floor mat was just completely thrashed, so there wasn't any way of going about it with just spraying a little bit of chemical on there and then wiping it down with the microfiber. That wasn't going to cut it. This thing was just hammered, so I had to pressure wash it. I did quite a few passes just with the water to get some of that mucky crud out, and then we're going to spray it down with some P&S carpet bomber, agitate it with the drill brush, and then we'll go through and blast it as clean as we can, and then we'll let it dry in the sun. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my Bissell Spot Pro Clean, so I couldn't suck out any of the water in there, and then my shop vac wasn't set up for wet vacuuming, so I just let it dry in the sun. The customer didn't need the car back right away. They weren't going to even check out the car until like 3 hours later, so leaving the floor mats out in the sun wasn't a problem. They were mostly dry when I left, but having them outside in the sun for another 2 or 3 hours let them get completely dry, so that wasn't an issue. But something to think about if the customer is going to need the vehicle right away, to make sure you have a plan to facilitate that, because you don't want to throw in some wet sopping floor mats. That's going to cause some mold problems and musty smells and other things. So we don't want to be doing that for the customer. That's just going to be a bad look for us, not being prepared and having things set up for them to be able to use the vehicle when it's time for them to. This trunk jam was pretty nasty. Had a bunch of pollen and crud that was kind of stuck in there, and then the back window had a bunch of junk, that pollen that was kind of crusted on there. So we blasted it free and then scrubbed it with the wheel woolly brush with soapy water, and then cleaned it off again. Sorry about the water blast on the camera lens. I didn't notice that until I was videoing for this part, so excuse that part. But yeah, we're just going to go through and get all the door jams and painted surfaces on the door, on the interior, all cleaned, and then we'll pressure wash rinse them. These were pretty dirty, so we just give them a fresh pre-rinse, get any of that loose debris knocked off of there, and then scrub the rest of the dirt and junk off of there with the wheel woolly wheel brush before we clean the wheels and tires. So now that I got the door jams all cleaned up, we're gonna finish with getting the rest of the interior cleaned up, all the surfaces wiped down, the center console, the seats, the door panels, dash, and everything else, and then we'll move on to the exterior last. It's getting warmer and stuff, so I just wanted to get the interior cleaned first before the plastic started to get scorching hot, and don't want to cause any problems with that. With a wash, it's fairly easy to mitigate the heat, just keeping the painted panels moist and cooled off with water as needed, or re-soaping as needed when the soap starts to dry and stuff like that. So that's not too hard to mitigate, but I do like to get the interior cleaned before the car gets too warm in the sun. I do have a bunch of affiliate links in the video description, so if you're interested in what different chemicals and equipment that I use that I don't specifically talk about, a lot of it's covered in the video description. And as well as if you get detailing supplies, feel free to use the links in my video description, and I get a small commission off of that. It's just a free way for you to show your appreciation if you're going to order the items anyway on Amazon. Might as well use my links, so I would appreciate that. Thanks. When you're doing detailing, there's a lot of walking, there's a lot of working on your feet and stuff, so whenever possible, it's nice to be able to sit down if you can. Like in this instance, give your body just a little bit of break while you're scrubbing away, and give your feet a little bit of a rest. So if you're not consciously thinking about staying hydrated, keeping your body fed, and giving yourself little rest breaks periodically, you just want to make sure you're paying attention to your body and treating it right, because you don't want to burn yourself out, have heat exhaustion or heat stroke, or fall ill just because you're not taking care of yourself. So just some things to consider while you're working on vehicles, if you do this professionally as a main gig or a side job.